Hey guys, this is Dante McGregor here. I'm bringing you a deck profile of my Dark World deck. I don't have any Dark World dealings, so it's not really the best in the world, but it works. It does. Most people are like, how can it work without the Dark World deck, the Dark World dealings? But it does. I generally don't. I do run into some problems with the top meta without the Dark World dealings because it's not fast enough. But there's some cards in here that negate the current meta, and I was honestly thinking about citing them into my Gravekeepers and other decks like that. But all right. Well, here goes. Here's one. Let me see if I can get better. Alright, 1, 2 golds. It's I only run 2 because I've only got 2, or I've got 3, but without the Dark World dealing, it's not consistent enough to run 3. I run 2 Sillvas, same reason. They're really good when I can get use Dark Deal. It clears out my opponent's hand. Really good. There's 2 Kahkkis. Kahkkis are really good for a lot of reasons. People underplay them because they don't think that it's a good card, but it actually does work. The only problem I've ever run into with it is, say someone has a Prime Material Dragon. My friend, he runs a Dragon deck, he runs Prime Material. That's one problem, and Stardust is another really big problem. Next up is Broww. Broww is really good in combination with Drill Warrior, because I can run 2 Drill Warriors and can constantly just pick these 2 up out of my graveyard and discard them and keep getting a Pot of Avarice every turn. Or no, not Pot of Avarice, Pot of Greed, sorry. Next up, only because I only have 1, I run 1 Broww. Brow's good. I mean, I haven't really been able to fully use its effect to its full potential, but it's good. Well, that's it for the Dark World part. I run 3 Dark Resonators. They're really good, but the only problem, I haven't run into a single problem with these. I love them. They work with golds and Sillvas to make level 8s. It's really good, really broken. Most people are like, what the yeah, it's funny. Next up is 2 Dark Necrofear. All of the Dark Worlds are Fiends, and 90% of this deck is Fiends, so it works. It does. I love it. It's beautiful. And also Dark Necrofear also works in chain with Dad, because I can easily summon Dad and then remove those same 3 from play, and then I can activate Card Destruct and drop more Darks. It works really good. I've done it many times. Here's 2 Dark Rulers. Dark Ruler Hades, it's a good card because it chains with every Fiend. Like, say I've got one of these on the field with one of these. This card destroys a monster by battle. That monster's card effect is negated as long as he's on the field, period. Like, say Treeborns, nope, can't special summon them as long as he's on the field. It's really broken. It shuts down frogs, believe it or not. It's awesome. Next up, we have 1 Dad. I love Dad. Amazing card. Next up, Phantom of Chaos. This is beautiful late in the duel when you have Dad in grave and 80 different Darks in grave. Then I run 2 Level Eaters. Most people are like, what? Why? But these 2 Level Eaters in combination with my Quickdraw. Quickdraw is, I can Quickdraw, discard a card, special Quickdraw, then normal to Level Eater, gives me a Drill Warrior. Drill Warrior makes all the Dark Worlds pop off with their effects. It's broken as hell. It actually abuses the shit out of Dark Worlds. Well, that's it for the monster lineup. Yes, it's a Wind in the Dark World deck, but who gives a fuck? Next up is the spells. I run 2 Dark World Lightnings. It works at 2, but 3 is just too much. It doesn't work, at least not in my personal opinion. You get to destroy a face down, and discard a card. Even if they negate the discard or the face down or the destroy, I'm not sure about that ruling, but you might still be able to discard. It's cool. Next, I got 2 Pot of Avarice. This helps me recycle my Quickdraw and all kinds of Dark Worlds, and allows me to just continuously use them over and over and over again. It's awesome. Next is 2 Gold Sarcs. Gold Sarc, I mainly use them to grab the Quickdraw and to grab the Love Leaders, just so I can get my Drill Warrior out faster. Drill Warrior's, like I said, broken. Then I run 2 controllers. These kind of help when I'm dealing with cards, like really strong cards. It helps me get over Stardust. Like I had Mirror Force on the field playing against 6 enemies, and they have Stardust on the field, so I took their Stardust. They tried swinging at it with Shein, and I was just like, oh, look, Mirror Force, and they couldn't do anything because they had already negated 2 Bottomlesses that turn, so it was kind of broken. Next up is 1 MST. I only run 1 because I only have room for 1. It's a staple. I run Foolish because it helps drop the Love Leaders to grave faster. Staple in, that is a staple in Dark Worlds, and then staple. And that is it for the spell cards. Next up is Traps. Staple. This is because of all the removing for play I do with Dad and Dark Necrofear. Next up is also because I do a lot of removing. That is a escape from a different dimension, from a dark dimension. Next, Mind Crush, because I've actually had a lot of fun with this card. I will basically look at my opponent and be like, Dark Magician, and they're running a Lightsworn deck, and I get a free discard. It helps, it really does. Most people are like, what? And then, of course, 2 Dark Deals. Dark Deals are broken as hell because I can discard my gold by its effect. Someone activates a Pot of Duality. I activate it, pay 1,000. I get to make their Pot of Duality make me discard, which means that I get to pop off with Gold's Destruction ability or Sillva's return hand to deck. It's broken. It really is, and I love it. It's one of my favorite cards in this deck. Next up, we have the extra deck. We have 2 Red Dragons. Hold on a second. I need to find the other one. I kind of just finished a duel with this, so it's not exactly in order. 2 Red Dragons. I use 2 because Red Dragon's one of my favorites, and it's a broken card. Next, we have a Black Rose. Then we got a Colossal. Then we got a Stardust. And then we got a Ancient Fairy, just because it helps. Believe it or not, most people are like, what? Huh? But it helps, it really does. Just because, Drill Warrior and Drill Warrior, 2 of them, it works. 2 of them. I've done plenty of combinations with this, like if I have 2 Browws engraved, I get a Pot of Greed every turn, or if I've got a Broww and a Kahkki engraved, I get a free destruction, and I get to keep all my monsters. I get to keep the Drill Warrior, and I also get a draw, so it's pretty cool. Next up, just because I don't have any other level 6s, 2 Farmville Earthquazes. It's pretty cool. I've been able to, I need some mind controls though, because mind control helps with the syncing of this deck. Then, last but not least, for the side deck of this, 1 Chaos King Archfiend. This is a really broken piece of shit. Especially in this deck because my Dark Worlds generally can't get over things, but I'll swing with that and it'll switch their original, or it switches their attack and defense. Not their original, it just is. When this card declares an attack, you can switch the attack and defense of all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of the battle phase. So, it's kind of really broken. But yeah, and then a random tech just because to switch battle positions if need be. I have a Giant Gardener that I can pull out with the, Quickdraw. And then this is my side deck. It was originally made for GKs. But it's kind of universal. I have 2 Mirror of the Ice Barriers because they are broken when it comes to Trishula. A lot of people, a lot of people run Trishula now. I don't have any because I'm kind of broke, but Trishula, you know, and this, they activate Trishula. I lose one card from hand, they lose 4 cards from hand. I lose one card from field, they lose 4 cards from field. And same with the graveyard. It's really broken. It's really actually really funny. Next is Discord. Neither player can synchro summon. Send this card to the graveyard during your 3rd end phase after activation. This card is really funny when I'm playing GKs. Goes and Match. 1 attribute. This is for Gladiator Beasts. It's really funny because they can't do anything to get around it. The Transmigration Prophecy is just kind of if I ever need to get cards back to hand at all, ever. Light Imprisoning Mirror. This is for Light Swarms. Cloak and Dagger. These are for any deck that bases around 1 card. Like Frogs, they base around Treeborns. So that would be against Treeborns. I've got a Heat Wave that this I'm actually thinking about running in my TKs because I can set spies and don't have to worry. And plus I run Reckless Greed, so I could activate that, activate a Reckless Greed for the next 2 turns. They can't normal or special summon at all, so it's pretty badass. Again, Gladiator Beasts, because Gladiator Beasts are the ones that give me the most trouble. Anti-Synchro. Chain Destruction. It's, I'll read it to you. You can activate this card when a monster with an attack of 2,000 points or less is summoned, including special summoned. This monster is not destroyed, but all monster cards of the same name in the summoning player's hand and deck are destroyed. The summoning player's deck is then shuffled. It actually helps against some cards that, like Glad Beasts, their cards aren't in the deck anymore, so it works. And MST because I only run 1 in my deck. Prohibition, kind of self-explanatory, and this because I only run 1 in my deck, Escape from the Dark Dimension. It's really good, but that's my side deck. And you saw my side deck, you saw my extra deck, and you also saw my main deck. This is Dark Worlds. It's really kick-ass. I like it. I enjoy playing it a lot. I've been trying to revamp the old archetype. I mean, I understand that the new structure deck is coming out, and I'm expecting to see it in December, but I kind of want to see if I can make a competitive deck without using the broken piece of shit God Dragon. I mean, yeah, I'm going to play it when we get the deck, but I'm going to see if I can make a comeback. But yeah, please comment, subscribe. Alright, thanks YouTube, and talk to you later.